the funny man here tonight in the wonderful organ room. Oh, look at that. He's going off. Hello, music lovers. Welcome to Barry Morgan's World of Organs, and I'm very excited tonight to have the wonderful Nicky Bomba in the organ room tonight. Celebrated ARIA award-winning singer, songwriter, band leader, composer. I mean, my goodness, is there anything you can't do, Nicky?
Gardening.
Gardening?
I'm not good at gardening.
Oh, well,
no, nothing grows.
Okay.
I should water it, though. That's probably, that would help. But, you know.
Well, welcome to the world of organs. Oh, he's got a big grip, I tell you what.
Lovely to be here, I've got to say. It's what a lovely little.
You like it?
I like it.
Settle in.
It feels very much at home, you know, surrounded by ivory.
Yep.
And
my ivory and everything. Well, all my wonderful costumes, and of course my family. I know family is a big part of your life.
Yes.
You're from quite a big family.
6 children.
Six children?
And four that were born in Malta and 2 that were born in Australia.
Yes, and you migrated to Australia when you were 1 year old.
Well, look, when I was 1.5, I sat the family down and I said, listen, you know, opportunity in Malta, not really much going on, you know, snap, snap, snap. There's cheap flights to Australia, you know, and if Mum pretends she's pregnant, which she did, we get to fly over. Didn't have to go on the boat.
Fantastic.
Yeah, quietly. True story.
So, so you sat the family down and had a good old chat to your father?
Opportunity, you know, and Mum as well too, you know. And
so your father was Nico?
His name is Nicholas as well. I'm actually Nicholas the Fourth.
This is the one I want to clear up this for Uncle Barry. Nicholas Caruana.
Yeah.
And how did you, where does Bomba come from?
Well, when I was 14, I was playing drums and I had lots of hair and everything, and one of the roadies at the time just went, Bomba the Jungle Boy. And I had no idea who that was.
Right.
I just went, and the name stuck, and went like, Bomba, and I keep calling me Bomba, and I like the idea of kind of having stage names anyway, you know, like, you know, that type of thing. So kind of went, okay, I'll adopt that, Nicky Bomba, and then everyone kind of knew me as that, but the family name is Caruana. My actually real name is Nicholas Publius Joseph Caruana the Fourth.
Oh my goodness, I hope we can put a lot of reverb on that sound bite. You're making me think I probably need a stage name, you know, Barry Morgan.
Or a middle name at least, you know, like Barry Washington Morgan or something, or Bartholomew.
So you growing up in a family of 6?
Yep.
4 born in Malta, 2 in Australia.
And
lots of musicians in your family.
It was a family dance band. We were the Jackson 5 of the Maltese community.
And let me guess, were you called the Fugitives?
We were. You know how we got the name?
No.
We bought a drum kit with the name on it. And we thought if you get the drum kit, you get the name.
Right.
And Dad didn't know there was a band in Sydney called the Fugitives. We didn't get sued, thankfully.
Right.
But the classic thing was we did a Maltese gig once, and they put up a big banner for us. Except they spelt it Fugatives, the Fugitives, which is a very Maltese thing. Let's go fishing, or, you know, Fugitives. I think they pronounced it and wrote it. We got a picture of it.
Right, and then you changed that name from the Fugitives to Fugitive Flight.
Well, because the Fugitives were in the Maltese circuit, right? That represented us doing all the dances and
traditional Maltese dances.
No. It was actually a lot of barn dances,
right.
And weddings and engagements. But if they were Maltese, Dad would do a little half-hour Maltese set. But it represented us playing the family band thing. But the Fugitive Flight was like, we're going to play our own songs, a bit of Steely Dan, a bit of, Doobie Brothers and a bit of Bob Marley, except we thought, you know, then we had a bit of an audience with the Fugitives, so let's not throw away the name. Right. Let's not throw the baby with the bathwater. So let's call it Fugitive Flight, which is the most, you know, difficult thing to say. What's the name of the band, you know? A Fugitive Flight. Just doesn't roll off very well.
But now tell me about the first tour that you did up to Queensland. There was a bit of a hot phone call from Tasman Talent, if you're still out there anywhere. John Gould.
Well,
my goodness, I've done my research.
He really has.
And you got a call on the Thursday before Easter Friday.
Exactly.
And you had to do a big drive, my goodness.
But not only had to do the big drive, we had to finish repairing the truck because the truck's hinges had fallen off. So we had to weld them. So we were welding them on Thursday morning.
Yes.
And then, you know, we actually got the phone call, you know, Thursday, and then it was like, we're leaving tonight because we got to, in order for us to play on Saturday, we need to start driving now.
And it was into Townsville that you went?
No, Rockhampton.
Rockhampton. Oh, that's not
Yeah,
far,
not
is
far,
it?
but we went through. And the only way we could actually get up in that time is the truck we had was a comma truck.
Followed by a Galant.
Well, exactly.
Right.
So we had the comma couldn't accelerate very much, but it could get up to speed, but it would take a while to accelerate. So we would be 2 kilometres ahead in the Galant with a CB radio, with long stretches of road saying, right, after the red Tirana, you're cool, there's nothing. So the comma would then pull out and overtake, past people very slowly, and people thinking, well, he's a bit trustworthy to be overtaking, but...
Because you were up there going, don't you go...
CQ, good luck, see you.
Breaker. Going way back to the beginning, it's a bit like This Is Your Life.
This is okay, yeah.
You started playing the drums at 5.
6, actually.
Well, there's an argument there.
It was
with
at
the family.
5 o'clock when
Well,
I
it
was
was
6.
5, or was it 6? And then but you also caused some, you had to get the rules changed in the school.
Oh.
Because your big brother, Michael, who you might now have guessed where I've got some of the goss on you, don't you worry.
Good on you, okay.
I tell you what, there's some other goss to go to with the audience leave. But they had to change the rules because you were so talented on the drums at such a young age in prep that they changed the rules so you could play in the big primary school band.
Yeah, well, there was a guy called George Watson, and I've been trying to do a doco on him, but I can't find enough information. He used to go... George Watson,
the 20-cent teacher.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, did you have him? No. Oh.
20 cents for a marching rhythm.
Okay, no.
Oh, now, shoppers, if you want any organ lessons from me, it's a little more than 20 cents these days. I tell you what, I might have to give him an organ lesson before the night's over.
Hello.
So, George Watson.
George Watson, he would go around to all the schools, and if you were part of the drum corps, between 3 o'clock and 3:30 on a Wednesday, you got to get out of school early and go to drum corps practice. Because every Monday morning we had assembly, and all the students would be in the middle of the ground, and we would do a lap of the ground playing a marching routine. Right. With bugles and drums and batons and everything, and it was like a full marching band.
And you learned that as a younger.
Yeah, well, I was playing drums at 6, and so I kind of knew what it was, and it was just a technique, and you had to put.
Well, your brother Michael said that you were better than a lot of the other kids in primary school, so they changed the rules.
Well, it was they allowed me to attend the classes when you're supposed to be grade 3 or grade 4 and above.
Yes.
And so they changed the rules that if anyone wanted to, and I was allowed to do it, which was great.
I was only allowed to attend organ camp because Mr. Murchison took me under his wing.
I bet he did.
Talk about crazy noises. I would love you to meet my wonderful friend over here. Say hello to Cooker.
Hello, Kookaburra.
No, Cooker.
Oh, just Cooker.
Yeah, and he doesn't speak English.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, he likes you, Nicky. Yeah. Can you do Cooker? There we are. There we are. That's the grab we've got for TikTok.
Oh, but there's something about the George Watson routine too, about the thing that
the 20-cent drumming lesson.
Well, apart from the drumming lesson, there was a set of certificates that you could get. That he wrote 3 quite intricate routines.
Right.
That you could go to the next level.
Marching routines
and utilising basic rhythms. One utilising crotch sticks, and one utilising, flipping the sticks and all that type of thing. There's quite a 3 different levels. And if you wanted to go for those certificates, you had to pay another 20 cents. Right? And I got those 3 certificates, eventually, went through a lot of money. But got the certificates, and they're like, a really proud part of my drumming adolescence. Oh. Yes,
On to that.
Well, there was a thing that, That was the end of that one, wasn't it?
Oh, look at that! My goodness!
Yeah, and you have to play that way because the drum kind of sits like this. So that's the best way to play.
Well, is that the jazz style?
Well, no. Well, the jazz styles came from the marching style because when you walked, if you have the drum in front of you, you can't walk very well. So you have to have it between your legs.
Right.
In order to have it, then it becomes at an angle, and so you play that particular way, right? To allow for the angle. Otherwise, playing like that is difficult. But then when marching drummers became jazz drummers.
Right.
And so they use that technique, and you'll find that the drummers may be slightly tilted. And then it became match grip, which is like which is the African style, which is kind of, it's kind of, this is traditional, this is fulcrum. So that's how I play when I'm doing most of my stuff. But then if I'm playing the jazz gig, it always.
Right. I tell you what, give them too much information, there'll be 20 cents from you lot.
Oh, hello.
What's your name, darling? Lisa. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you for leasing her to me, sir. Right, how you going, mate? You feeling all right? You ready for that one finger method lesson in the second half? Yeah. Now I don't want you to feel like you have to go it alone. So there's one more opportunity. Where are we going to go tonight? See, the idea is if you make eye contact with me... Look at this. This is nearly a safari suit, mate. Look at that. You thought you'd try. Well, I can say keep trying. Hello, darling. What's your name? Lauren. So lovely to meet you, Lauren. You've got a lovely handshake, Lauren. Such soft and slender fingers. My goodness, Lauren, are you an organist? You have? I get a sense these hands have played on an organ or two in the past. Well, tonight is going to be a wonderful night for you, Lauren. Stand up, darling. That's it. Lauren, there, look, I think that is your colour. Look at that. Look down that camera there. All right. Please give a big round of applause to Lauren.
Now tell me a little bit about the Melbourne Ska Orchestra and ska. It's like it's that Jamaican reggae, predating reggae.
It actually is the seed of all reggae. Well, what do you want to know first about the orchestra or ska?
Well, let's start with the ska.
Ska started in about the late 50s, early 60s, where it was all about the sound systems, really, in Jamaica.
The reverb springs.
Can we ramble? Can we talk on it?
We can ramble.
Okay.
And it's the reverb?
No, that was in the dub. That was later on.
Oh, okay. Oh, silly Barry.
So it started with ska.
Oh, I do know something.
So, really, I'll just take it back from where it started.
Right, that's all right.
Duke Reed and Cox and Dodd, who were used to own liquor stores.
Right.
And in order to sell their liquor, they thought, we'll play a bit of music because the people in Jamaica like a bit of music. And so they had speakers outside and they'd be playing music and people would kind of congregate around and going, yeah, I like this music, because the only music they had was from BBC Rediffusion, which used to be a speaker on the wall they used to have at school. Remember at school?
Yes,
you had the speaker, which was only one station, JBC. So that was all the music they had, and they didn't play much Jamaican music or anything, or stuff that they liked anyway. So they had these speakers and they'd start playing music and people would congregate and they would sell alcohol and everything and say, this is actually a good thing. We should make this into like an event, like a backyard party. So,
a happening.
So they started doing backyard parties and then selling alcohol there and a bit of food and everything. And then it became the sound system culture, which was so big parks, big areas, even halls, dance halls, where they would go and have the sound system, and how loud your system was like the louder, the cleaner sound. You got people to come to your. There was a lot of rivalry. Sometimes to the point of they would slash the rival speakers so they wouldn't work.
Right.
Yes, and so and then they were playing a lot of music from the 50s, from the States, from this R&B. Fats Domino.
Rhythm and blues.
Fats Domino and...
which is different now, R&B.
Oh, totally. And so it was Louis Jordan.
Yes.
So the Jamaicans loved that style. And so the sound systems were kind of playing all that and they were dancing to that. But then after a while, the records started, the scene wasn't happening anymore in the States. They weren't into R&B anymore, just moving on to something else. So you couldn't get the records anymore, because the servicemen would bring those records in from the States.
Yep.
And so you couldn't get the records anymore. And then the Jamaicans were going, but we want this type of music. And said, well, look, let's have our own record vinyl plant. Let's get our own studio and let's make our own Jamaican music. So they went from that, then they wrote a little tune to find what their music was, and it was a song called My Boy Lollipop.
Right.
Right, and they used one of the tunes that they were hearing before from Louis Jordan and Fats Domino, which had what's called the upbeat. Right. So a normal boogie would be like that vibe. As they said, let's take that, but this time let's add a bit of the upbeat to it, because their folk music, mento music, had a big emphasis on the, because a lot of the songs were to do with the workers, it had emphasis on the backbeat. So
that's the 2 and the 4.
Yes, or 1, 2, 3, with the big heave, ho, heave, the on the ships or working in the cane fields.
Yes, or Stretch working songs in the back of the organ room.
Exactly, yeah. So that backbeat was important, so they applied the mento philosophy to the R&B, and instead of just going dun, 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 it became dun, 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 dun,
yeah,
and that is the birth of ska.
Right.
It's swing too, 1 and a 2 and it's swung ska, and all those songs. So the Louis Jordan songs and the Fats Domino songs had that in there, but played on the piano. Softly, right?
Right.
And they realised, so they kind of copied it, but they made that even more accentuated.
Just want to play with him.
With the horns, the scutterlights.
Right. Yes.
Right? And that was the definitive sound of early Jamaican ska. Was the backbeat, R&B rhythm, but with the backbeat played by the horns. And my boy lollipop, you make my heart go, yeah. You are as sweet as candy. You are my sugar dandy. Oh yeah, my girl lollipop. Okay, now let's continue the story. Let's straighten that up.
20 cents.
40 cents now. Right.
$20.
Okay, so it's gone from swing to straighten it up. Now straighten it up like 1, 2, 3, 4 instead of
Nancy. My mum Nancy was a swinger.
I bet she was.
Oh no, she loved the swing music. She was into big band.
Did she have the camera strapped to her back when she was into swinging as well?
Oh my goodness! I'd be on the organ playing the classics. She'd come home smelling of Brute 33, Campo. She'd get right up my face. She'd say, "Barry, don't you realise I'm a swinger?" Anyway, back to the 20 cents.
Anyway, so it then becomes straightened up. Yeah. So it goes from 1, 2.
Straighten up.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. Then they had some hot summers, and they said, "Music's too fast. Let's slow it down. Do what you like, be what you want, dip it up, Then we got into a bit of rocksteady. It's called
It's the Reader's Digest history of music tonight.
And then they even slowed that down. That's when Bob Marley came with the reggae, the militant reggae. He did his ska and everything as well, but then the reggae got tough because it was getting nasty,
It's getting nasty
in the kick. So it would slow down, even slower, and then it went minor. There is your reggae, ba boom, 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 boom. And the guitar was very percussive.
Come on, a round of applause, everybody in the organ room. A brief history of ska.
And then the Melbourne Ska Orchestra.
The Melbourne Ska Orchestra.
We had our first gig celebrating the release of that first song, My Boy Lollipop, in 1963.
Yes.
So 40 years later, in 2003, at the Gershwin Room, we said, let's celebrate it. And that's how the band started. We turned away 300 people, packed room, we had so much fun, and we went, we should probably do this again. And we did, 21 years.
And how many, there's like 30 players?
When we're in Melbourne, it's like, 25 to 30, but when we tour, it's usually, 20 to 25.
So around that time of the success of the Melbourne Ska Orchestra, you joined the John Butler Trio.
I did.
So you went from 30 musicians to 3. Is that because you got sick of those 27 others trying to get a ride home?
Well, it wasn't so much. It was just working out who was going to sleep with who. Because they're snorers.
Smart.
Snorers, and who's sleeping with the snorers? 3 to a room and everything, and there's but they're a couple, but...
So who did you sleep with? John or Shannon?
Well, I'm talking about with the orchestra.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
No, that's right.
In the rock scene, no one sleeps with anyone.
No, and John, we actually, I think we kind of got to that point where the touring kind of level was that we got to get our own room. We had our own room.
And as we know from Wikipedia, John is your brother-in-law.
He is.
So that's keeping it in the family, isn't it, really?
Save a lot of money on
Well, this is to see how I got one of my regular Sunday gigs from Mr. Murchison, the church organist.
The church organist.
We spoke of before.
Yeah.
And he introduced me to the Sisters of No Mercy nursing home.
Oh,
and I, through knowing him, I got the regular Sunday session playing the organ for the afternoon sing-along. Well, it was more, for the old folks. It was more of a drool-along, really, Nick. Now, shoppers, here's a question I'm often asked by both professionals and amateurs alike. Barry, they say, how do I keep my organ looking spotlessly clean and always presentable despite rigorous daily use? 1. Dust your organ daily. I like to use an old-fashioned manual duster, but some people prefer an electrical device. Of course, it's simply a matter of personal choice. 2. A little ordinary soap and water will keep your organ looking shiny and new. Wipe it down with a soft cloth each morning, and you never need worry that guests might pop over for a surprise visit and embarrass you with a dirty or finger-marked organ. 3. Polish your organ as often as possible. I use this little nylon mitt myself, but any quality polishing cloth will do. There we go, spick and span and ready for action. How did a fella from Malta get so engrossed, into ska music, ska and reggae? Where did that happen?
Yeah, I was adolescent, and I was kind of realising that I wanted to follow music as a thing, and music was starting to, because I was playing from a very, very young age. Yes. And it was just something you did every weekend. I never went with the friends, never went out for drinks or anything. I was just always gigging. Yep. And so at some point you go, do I really enjoy this and doing this? And music started really resonating with me. Yes. And one of the first reggae songs was Bob Marley's Rock It Baby, Tonight. And it was just like, well, this is kind of an upside down rhythm, and being a drummer, it's kind of like, but I'm still feeling something. It's quite good. And then at 14 and 15, I fell into the whole two-tone UK ska thing. Right, which was Madness, The Specials, Selector, the British Beat. And I felt I belonged. It was just like, this is, and they dressed up. Yep. As you do. And you make a little effort. But I realised that this music, which was part of the combination of the West Indian diaspora that went to the UK in the 40s and 50s, all their children are now growing up. West Indians are growing with white English people, and they've started to make this new music together called two-tone, ska, but it was also reggae, but it was two-tone. It was because they used black and white, and that's what they wore. Right. And what I realised is that my favourite albums, all the songs that they played, were just covers of stuff that happened in the 60s with ska. And I didn't know that. And when I discovered, like, everything that I loved, and Message to Rudy, Simmer Down, Monkey Man, everything, it's like, I thought this was all like, fresh 80s kind of. I said, no, hang on a second. This actually happened in the 60s, and the story between that and that was just like, my mind was blown. And it just took you. And I just went, I love this world. And then the Police came out. And so from a drumming perspective, Stuart Copeland was doing things with the rock and the reggae. Right. And then there was, and also because I'd studied jazz, a lot of the reggae rhythms you could adopt. It was like, tick, 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 which is something that I learned from a jazz thing. And so it became this whole world of like, this is actually my drumming genre too. This is what, and I was always into funk because my brother was into Stevie Wonder and the Commodores and the Johnson Brothers and stuff. I always had that funk thing. And so funk reggae became my... Right. We're on to your record now. And this is Nicky Bomba, Don't Waste a Minute, which is... Lovely story behind that. And yes? Well, I have the 2-cent version, Nicky. All right. I was crossing the road in Amsterdam, and obviously they travel on the wrong side, other side of the road there. And I was looking down to see if there's any cars coming, and I went across, and a guy grabbed me from behind and pulled me back and went, whoa! And then as he pulled me back, the tram just went right past my nose.
Right.
I would have been gone.
Right.
And I was like, oh, thank you, Angel. That's it. Don't waste a minute.
What I got from having listened to the lyrics, it's about locking in with the drums. Like, let everything
Locking
else.
with the drummer.
That's it. Don't worry about anything
The
else.
rhythm of life.
That's it. Just subscribe to my channel and lock in with the drums.
You know, like when you're in the zone.
I'm in the zone.
You know, when you're in the zone.
Yes.
You know, it's just.
We're going to get in the zone very soon because I'm going to do. We're going to do a version of Don't Waste a Minute.
Fantastic.
On I think that's on the Technics U90.
The U90.
Yeah, the Technics U90 over there. Oh yes, do you like it?
Uniting.
I've got quite a few of those at the moment. I'm running a little sale. I'm doing a sort of long-term finance at around that 5%. Would you be like?
Yeah. Do you want to swap?
Okay. And of course, we're going to do Malibu. On the wonderful Hammond.
Yeah.
So tell me, these records are out on your own label?
No, this is actually out on ABC on 4/4, but I do have my own label as well.
Got your own label?
Yeah, which is called Transmitter.
Transmitter.
And that's all the songs like Russ Hannaford we were talking about before.
Right. Yes.
Banana Oil.
Right.
Bustamento.
Now, banana oil.
Oh,
look, do you notice the organeers are pushing the food in?
I
Keep
tell
pushing
you,
that in.
Yeah.
I don't have any banana oil, but I've got some organ oil. Look at that. Isn't that the real dish? Show the shoppers.
And generator oil.
That's it.
All right,
It's,
so
now-
I want to know what it's generating.
Cabana?
No, well, please, come, Mr. Tullyman, tully me banana.
Now, I
Daylight
wanted
come.
to make us some food because we want to do it like food is big. What I've done here today is I've gone and I'm doing a very special little recipe. This is anchovy paste.
Anchovy paste.
Anchovy paste. Freshly tinned pineapple ring.
Okay. Now, the pineapple ring is good and the cheese is good. The anchovy paste is a bit of a yeah. I mean,
Bit of cheese on there like
so
that.
I mean that's probably workable. That's probably workable. If you kind of kept like that, that's okay. You're not putting anything else on it, are you? Or?
No, well, no. I thought maybe just to sweeten it up. Why don't we? Because one of the difficult drugs to get off these days is apart from the Campari. You're enjoying that Campari, aren't you?
I'm quite hungry.
A touring musician. See, eat for tomorrow.
On the road.
Yeah, I'm going to go like that. Come on, we might as well. We'll have a crack. You there?
I'm there.
You bet? All right. Yeah. Fish paste, pineapple rings, and hundreds and thousands. Good.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Hundreds and thousands of tastes. We're going right now.
Bizarrely enough, it works.
Well, most of it, the anchovy paste is a bit of a.
Well, it's the soggy white bread.
Well, no, that's kind of okay, but just the pineapple I'm into.
This stuff flies.
I have pineapple and everything. The cheese is okay.
They don't like the fish paste.
No, I think it's just a combination of the fish paste with the hundreds and thousands. It's kind of like, it's like trying to put on are you wearing shorts or are you wearing pants?
We'll see what you might have the same reaction after I've played one of your songs on the home organ.
I have done. I've done my research too.
You have,
and I know a little bit how well you play.
Oh, thank you very much, Nicky.
You think I would have come here not knowing that, and had my songs
bossa novaed?
Exactly, but that's right. Well,
I think it's all right. I'm not like fish paste and anchovies. Would that be big in the Maltese diet? Fish
would be, but there's a classic thing called hops bilzeit.
Well,
hops, which is bread. Bilzeit with oil. Tadam. And tomato. So they get the tomato, get a bit of oil on the plate. Get the tomato, slice it up, put it on the bread, bit of capers, bit of mint, bit of tuna.
Right, okay. But not anchovies. Okay. Well, it might be time for us to play a little bit of music together. We were going to try something on the washboard.
Why don't we do a little...
Might be a job for the organeers to come and pull this fish bone out of my teeth.
That'll be the downfall of the anchovy paste.
Yeah.
And what's fish bones doing in the anchovy paste anyway?
Just cheap.
Oh, can I have a bit of that? Oh, I feel organised.
I just love the smell of Cedo in the morning.
It's almost up there with brick, isn't it? That's right, you know. So this, my daddy would say to me, he would say, son, whatever you do it right the first time. He used to say that. He said, like, if you're going to get a hat, for example, if you're going to get a Stetson, you go to the US of A. If you're going to get, like, an Akubra, you go to Australia. But if you're going to get a Fez, you go to Fez.
To Fez.
Morocco. And he would sing this. He would go.
Right.
He would say, you gotta get your Fez in Fez. That's what my daddy says. You gotta get your Fez in Fez. That's what my daddy says. Hey, brother. Oh, sunset, let's have a chat. Life's kind of like a hat. A copy might save the purse, but you wish you got the real thing first. Well, imitation is running rife. You can get an artificial wife. Tell you by the way it fits. 99's not a 66. No, gotta get your Fez in Fez. That's what my daddy says. You gotta get your Fez in Fez. That's what my daddy says. Give it to me again, brother. Part that you need to function. Don't jump to a quick assumption. If the thing's not bona fide, take your money and say bye-bye. Cause if you're going for the quickest fix, the way you glitch in the final mix, take it from experience. Don't waste your dollars and cents. Is it for real? Is it bona fide? Is it the real thing? So, hey, Mr. Vendor, won't you give me chapeau? Gotta get your Fez in Fez. That's what my daddy says. You gotta get your Fez in Fez. That's what my daddy says. Oh! You gotta get your Fez in Fez. That's what my daddy says. You gotta get your Fez in Fez. That's what my daddy says. Gotta get your Fez in Fez. That's what my daddy says. You gotta get your Fez in Fez. Oh, take it home, take it home, take it home, Barry. All right!
The wonderful Nicky Bomba in the organ room tonight.
Hey.
1, 2, show me what you got, Barry. Ah! Coconut woman is calling out. Every day you can hear her shout. My coconut woman is calling out. Every day you can hear her shout. For the coconut water. Yeah, good for your daughter. Coconut, full of the iron. Make you stronger like a lion. Coconut, full of the iron. Coconut, make you stronger